Hi. Um, this is a new setting. After one transfer, I finally have a desk. I've been using a kitchen table, yay yonder, down that way. And now I actually have my own little desk. It's pretty cool. This week, holy shenanigans. Okay, it's fine. It's been pretty interesting to say the least. Well, Tuesday, as you all know, was my P day for that day. And we had mission P day, played kickball, croquet, did all this, played frisbee golf, did all that stuff. Then that night, after like settling in, actually getting this desk in, we're like, you know what? Let's go to Wendy's. Well, actually, Elder Brinkerhoff was like, we should go to Wendy's. And I was like, we were trying to figure out what to eat, and I was trying to name off a few, and he's like, let's go to Wendy's type thing. And I was like, I wasn't really filling up Wendy's, but I felt like we should go. I was like, all right, let's go. So we went to Wendy's, right? And this cashier girl, we still don't know her name to this day, but we started talking with her. She's like, I reckon you must be college kids. Nah. We started talking with her. She asking for college kids, and I was like, nah. Told her we were missionaries for Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and talked to her about that. She's like, okay, pretty cool. And she seemed pretty interested into us. We were like, oh, okay. So we both order our food, and I go to get my drink. She comes back around because it's not busy. It's pretty empty. At that night, I had my hair. Some of you guys know my little stick-up situation. Sometimes when I cut my hair, some of you people don't like that. Sometimes a lot of you people have a lot of opinions when it comes to my hair. I don't know. But it was just, when my hair's cut, the front up is usually the way to go, because it makes things easier for me, because having it go sideways like this, it's just a pain in my rear. It takes forever. But I had my hair up doing that, and then as I'm getting my drink, she comes over, and Elder Bringerhoff's behind me, and she's like, I reckon you must be a pretty boy. I just kind of laugh a little. I was like, nah, I'm not. I don't consider myself a pretty boy in any sense. I don't even think I would even match myself in a literal sense of being a pretty boy. Because she's like, yeah, she's like, I had a roommate who took his hair forever, and like they tease around each other about it. But I was like, nah, my hair takes about like maybe 30 seconds to 2 minutes to do. Depends on how it wants to obey me and all that. But we just started talking. She knew we were religious. Well, she had a religious background, went to Pentecostal church all through her life. Had a lot of struggles. I probably shouldn't talk about them. But it was just it was an interesting conversation, because she seemed like very intrigued by us. And we're like, maybe we can do something with her. We don't know. We weren't too sure. But also that night we also realized that Wendy's has really good Wi-Fi. So we'll be doing some stuff there at Wendy's a lot more. So Wednesday morning rolls around. We do the normal stuff, get ready and all that. And we did planning, figure out what needs to go down. it was Byhalia Day, so we planned out things for Byhalia, and we're like, cool. All right, let's get into personal study. So we say our personal prayers for personal study, and I end up my prayer a little early, and I start working over here, and
you didn't see me, right?
nah, you're covered over here. You're good.
Okay, good.
I heard you coming, so I just made sure.
Okay.
You're good. But I start working on this. I start working on my talk that I gave today. And Elder Bringerhoff, when he's done with his prayer, and I'm about to start figuring out what I want to do for my talk, and he's like, I'm gonna stop you for a second, and he's like, so what Elder Bringerhoff's been doing lately is he has this Book of Mormon. He's had this since he's been here in Holly Springs, which was maybe around May, end of April, beginning of May-ish, just around that time. 5 months. 5 months, basically. And he's had this Book of Mormon, which he's marked up. So basically, he prayed about a person that could really benefit from this Book of Mormon. And what would this person feel like? So he's been reading it and marking it up by the Spirit, according to the Spirit, saying, oh, this person would enjoy this. This person would like this. And just so on and so forth, and we've seen it. There's a pattern in the markings. He's been doing this for the longest time, and he comes to me and he's like, "That girl we met last night, she's the person." And I just kind of sat there like, "The heck." Oh, gosh. She's the one, and he kind of explained why, like, what he felt and how when he prayed about this person in the Book of Mormon, he always said she, and so it's just the little things, small things, great things to come to pass. I think I said that right. I don't think I said that right, but it's fine.
You said it right.
Okay.
By small and simple things, great things come to pass.
Yeah, by small and simple things, great things to come to pass. And we're like, dang. And there was a time a couple of weeks ago where the Spirit was like, this person's going to get baptized. So try and pick up the pace. And he's like, okay. So he starts reading a little more fast, reading a little longer to get more pages in and to mark things more up. And then now we know that, as weird as it is, this girl, who probably doesn't think of any idea of becoming part of this church, well, at one point will, because of this Book of Mormon that Elder Brighoff's going to give to her. Gosh dang it. It's probably the smoke getting to me. I'll talk about that more later. But it's just crazy to think how, just knowing that we know someone's going to get baptized because of this, like how this book is going to change her life. And we're gonna be trying to go to Wendy's more and just try to maybe start building up just talking with her more, just build up a relationship, friendship type thing with her, to get her to like trust us, because she's talked to us about a lot of things that I don't think a lot of people would like to talk about, but yeah. So then, after all those studies, we drove up to Byhalia. We ended up not being able to do a lesson with Birdie because she ended up canceling because she was babysitting this, I think it was like a nephew or something that wasn't used to her and was constantly crying and stuff like that. So we're like, oh, okay, we'll just do it next week then. And then we go up. We finally got a hold of one of our referrals named Jesse, and so we finally because I talked about it last week how she's like we gave her the Bible and she's like, what next? And so we went over there. We taught her the restoration and all that. Probably could have done better, but I'm not perfect. It's just how it is. She said she'd be out of town again, but she said we invite her out to church, and she's like, yeah, once I get back in town, which will be in like 2-3 weeks, she'll come and bring her granddaughter with her, and so we're hoping for that. And then we did another lesson with Unique and Maricus. They're excited to be baptized. Turns out today we found out that they kind of have an idea of a date to set for them, which will be October 13th. So yeah, that. And then after Unique and Maricus, there's a small space where we were trying to do some calls, send texts out, and then left to do splits. And I went with one of the his name's President Hull. We went up to visit a less active sister, and which had very close relations to how this family feud has started. And I got to hear the whole story. Well, her version of the story. And so I kind of understand what basically happened. To sum it all up, someone messed up. They were gonna fix it. Next day they died. And then it was shut. The will was sealed, and everything fell into place, and everything broke apart from there on. Just 60 years ago. It just happened 60 years ago, and stuff that I talked about in my talk today, I hope can really help let that go, But Thursday, we did a lot of, most of the day we were helping Gary and Brandon in Lamar, bagging corn for someone not far from where they lived. We ended up bagging maybe over 13 bags, 13 big size bags. Yay wide. The ground's like, I don't know, yay tall. I don't know, you won't be able to tell, but they're big bags. They'll be in my week 9 video, the week 9 email, but this is week 6 because it's transfer. Yeah, one transfer. So you will see pictures there. Then we tried visiting people. We visited Pat, talked with her, visited the hills, and then had dinner at Maki's, and then visited Mike for the rest of the night. I don't know. Well, I did talk about it. Yeah, I did talk about it. I gave him the 4th Nephite Effect book. I think I've talked about it in the I don't know, maybe. But then Friday, it was more just Holly Springs area, but we did animal shelter, worked with one of the dogs named Chong. Then after that, figured out what's going on And then later on in the day, we finally went out, tried to stop by one house where the person wasn't home. We made a media order because we're out of cards basically and need some more Bibles. We have a box full of Book of Mormons and some Bibles. We can use some more Bibles, so that's why we ordered some more. And then we tried to visit someone else. They weren't there. And then we visited Benjamin, talked with him, and his youngest son ended up locking him out of the house just before they left to go to a homecoming game for the high school, Holly Springs High School. And so that was an interesting thing. And then it started to get cloudy, and we're like, great, now it's gonna start raining here soon. And then so they left, and we're like, let's go to Wendy's. We need to download some things, and we need to eat. So we went over there, talked with the girl for like a little bit, and sent out texts to people, having struggles with some people responding. I don't know. And then at this point, Friday, my talk was done. I finished up typing it and all that. And then after eating and sending out texts and downloading stuff, we were like, I need to print my talk because there's no way I'm looking at my phone for this. So we managed to get over to Brother Roswell's, and at this point it's raining. So we went over there, got my talk printed, gosh dang it. And then we went over, and then we talked with Brother Roswell for a little bit. Then Saturday, just yesterday, it was raining more. What happened yesterday? Oh yeah, we had the mission conference with Elder Callister, talking about Book of Mormon and all that, how you can use that in teaching. And while we got a ride from Brother Kaler, who gave us dinner on Monday night. And then we had to go after that. We came back home and then had to drive all the way out to give a blessing to someone who messed up his arm the day before, on Friday. Then came back, had sent more texts out, and at this point it's like 8 o'clock. We're like, shoot, we haven't eaten yet. And so I remember that I had bought spaghetti sauce, and so I made spaghetti. Pretty good for a last minute put together. And then today, I'm way over my time. Holy crap. I'm sorry. Then today, gave my talk. People said it was really good. I will be sending a PDF of my talk so you guys can look at it yourselves. And then after church and all that, we gave a blessing to someone who was had some troubles with sickness and all that. And then we went over the Morrisons, had a cool fuel lesson about since General Conference is coming up, being refueled. And then we drove all the way over to Gary's to teach Cooper the final 2 lessons. Now at this point, all day it's been raining today. It even still is raining now, but it's not as much. We had that lesson with Cooper, had dinner there, and then we visited the Millers, checked up on them for a little bit, and then we tried visiting one of the people we've been trying to get in contact for a while. Her name is Wanda. The car was home, TV was on. I swear I saw someone peeking through, but no answer. I don't know. We're still gonna keep trying. Can't give up yet. But and then we visited Lisa Yeager. Had a long conversation with her. Kind of got a small headache from all the smoke, but and that's probably why I was talking about the cough, because I feel like the smoke kind of got to me or whatever. But I took a shower just a little bit ago, so yeah. And then we were talking with her, and then Elder Brinkerhoff at one point is like, "Do you want a healing blessing?" And at this point, we realize we're at a consecrated oil. For those which you don't know, it's like it's basically vegetable oil, but it's been consecrated through a special prayer that helps the healing and helps the healing for the sick and afflicted. Just basically helps it out. Olive oil, my bad. Vegetable oil, what? We don't. It's olive oil, my bad. We realized we were out. And he's like, "I don't have any oil. Like, this would work out." But the Spirit kept telling him, "Give her a healing blessing." And so we asked if she wanted one, and she's like, "Yeah." Because a lot of stuff happened and all that. And then we did this blessing, and it was interesting because me and the Brinkerhoff can't remember the words what were said about it, because it was just so interesting, because this was out without oil, but yet there was a certain way that the Lord spoke through him to be able to have this blessing come into effect. And so it's just interesting to know that the Lord has ways to go about things if certain situations request of it, and just it's been a long week. I'm at 23 minutes. Holy crap. But just overall, I guess with my talk, just accept people for who they are. I know that was a weird jump from what I just talked about, from what happened this week till this talk, but accept people for who they are. They're not perfect, nor are you. And the Lord created each and every one of us for a reason. We lived with him, and he made us who we are because he knew that we can have this personality and be able to make an impact on people because of this. And as you accept people for who they are and love them for who they are, you'll be able to recognize that the Lord loves each of his children. And like I said, I'll have the talk in a PDF, and go ahead and read it. I hope it helps. Love y'all. And this Tuesday makes 2 months. 22 to go.